So till now we have learned how to multiply a fraction by a whole number. What if we have to multiply two fractions? That is, how will we perform multiplication of a fraction by a fraction? Suppose we have this multiplication of two fractions, 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 2. Now think of this fraction 1 by 2 as any other normal fraction that we consider. If this is 1 by 2 and if we have to represent this fraction in this figure, if this is considered as a whole, if this is one whole and this 2 tells us that this should be divided into two equal parts, and if we shade any one part of this two equal divisions, then this shaded portion will be represented by 1 by 2. Okay. Now, this 1 by 2 fraction, focus on this 2. Focus on this 2. This 2 tells us that you have to further divide these two equal parts into further two equal parts. This should be divided into two equal parts and this should also be divided further into two equal parts. So let's do it. Okay. Now you can see that now we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 equal parts, right? So initially we had two equal parts. Now since each part has been divided into two equal parts, therefore we'll now have total 4 equal parts, right? So if each has been divided into two equal parts, now therefore total there will be 4 equal parts. That is initially 2 and then further 1, 2 and 3, 4. That is 2 times. Okay. It means that each of this fraction is what? This is 1 by 4. This is 1 by 4. This is 1 by 4. And this is 1 by 4. But the shaded portion, that is this whole, will always remain, this shaded portion will always remain 1 by 2 only. That will not change. Okay. Now this one tells us that of this fraction, that is this shaded portion, that has been divided into two equal parts, and each single part represents the fraction 1 by 4. Why? Because total has been divided into 4 equal parts, and if we are considering each part, then that will be 1 by 4. So this one tells us that take out 1 by 4, one such 1 by 4. This one tells us. So initially we had one part shaded. Of this one part, take out one such 1 by 4. One such 1 by 4. Okay. We are taking one such 1 by 4 from this single shaded portion, that is 1. So now you can see that this multiplication is actually what? If we are considering this one, this is actually what? 1 by 4, right? So this is what? 1 by 4, and it can be represented by this one also. These two mean the same thing. So this will be 1 by 2 times 1 by 2 will be equal to 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 2 times 2. No worries if you are getting confused. We'll take many such examples to understand it. This fraction, again 1 by 2, can be represented here. Okay. This fraction, this 3 tells us that divide these two equal parts, that is each part should be divided further into 3 equal parts. That is, this should be divided into 3 equal parts and this should be further divided into 3 equal parts. So let's do it. One part, second part, one part and second, third part. Okay. Now we have now how many total equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? And each part, that is this part, this part, this part, this part, this part, and this part, each will be represented by 1 by 6. Why? Because we have total 6 equal parts and we are taking only one part. So this one will be 1 by 6, this one will be 1 by 6, this one will be 1 by 6, same for this one also. All will be 1 by 6. Okay, this one tells us, okay, one more. So think like initially we had 2. Now each has been divided into further into 3 equal parts. So if 1 has been divided into 3 equal parts, so 2 will be divided into 3 times 2 equal parts, that is 6 equal parts. Now each fraction is 1 by 6. Each part is represented by the fraction 1 by 6. And this one tells us that of this fraction 1 by 2, that is this fraction 1 by 2, this again the shaded portion is 1 by 2 only, take out one such part, that is 1 by 6, take out that. So initially we had one part, that is this one. From this one, take out one such 1 by 6. Okay, so this will be 1 by 6. Why? Because if you take 1 by 6 out of this one, that is represented by here, that will be only 1 by 6 only, and it means these two are actually same thing. So 1 by 3 times 1 by 2 will be equal to 1 times 1 and 3 times 2. Okay, we have this fraction 1 by 2 times 2 by 3. Now this fraction 2 by 3 means what? A whole has been divided into 3 equal parts and you have to take 2 part, right? That's a normal fraction, theory of normal fraction. So if we take this one part and this another single part, so these two parts will be what? 2 by 3. The fraction will be 2 by 3 by these two shaded portions, right? Okay, so we are done with this one. It's time for this fraction. This 2 tells us that divide each part, that is each 3 parts should be further divided into 2 equal parts. That is this one should be divided into 2 equal parts, this one should be divided into 2 equal parts, and this one also be divided into 2 equal parts. So let's do it. This one, and this one. Okay, therefore initially we had 3 parts, and if each part has been divided into 2 equal parts, therefore how many total parts now we'll have? That will be 3 times 2 times 3, because 3 total parts, initial 3 parts, and now we have to further divide each part into 2. So 2 times 3. Therefore this one will be 1 by 3, this one also be 1 by 3, all this together will be 2 by 3. Therefore each fraction will be again 1 by 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6, so 6, and we are taking one part, 1 by 6. This one will also be 1 by 6, same this one, and for remaining one also, all this will be 1 by 6, all this one 1 by 6. Now this one tells us that of this 2 by 3, that is this 1 by 3 and this another 1 by 3, that is the whole shaded portion is 2 by 3. From this shaded portion and this shaded portion, take out 1 by 6 from each of these. Like we have this 1 by 3, this another 1 by 3, that together makes 2 by 3. So from each division, from this each equal part, take out 1 by 6 out of it. So we'll take 1 by 6 from here and 1 by 6 from here. Okay, 1 by 6 from here. Because this had been was divided into 3 equal parts, the shaded portion represents 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. This one tells us that from each 1 by 3 take out this 1 by 6. So from this we'll take 1 by 6, and from this shaded portion we'll again take 1 by 6. That means that initially we had this 2 by 3 represented 2 equal parts, and from each part we have to take out 1, therefore 1 by 6. So if we take 1 by 6 from this one and 1 by 6 from this part, therefore this will be 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, right? 1 by 6 from this one, 1 by 6 from this one, and this will be 2 by 6. The fraction will be actually what? 2 by 6. So this one will be equal to 2 by 6. It means that 1 by 2 times 2 by 3 will be equal to 1 times 2 divided by 2 times 3. Take this one. Again, the fraction is 2 by 3. So if we are looking at this 2 by 3, this 1 by 3 and this 1 by 3 will represent 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means 2 by 3, right? Okay. Now focus on this fraction 4 by 5. This 5 tells us that each 3 equal parts should be further divided into 5 equal parts. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Just assume that these all have been divided into equal parts, right? Though they are not looking very accurate, but just assume for the sake of our discussion. And even this one into 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So initially we had 3 parts. Each has been divided into 5 parts. Therefore, now we'll have 5 times 3 parts. That is total 15 parts. It means that each one of this one will be what actually? Will be 1 divided by 15. That is 1 by 15. 1 by 15. 1 by 15 and so on. Each one will be 1 by 15 only. Okay. Okay. Now, this 4 tells us that of this 2 by the 2 from this 2 by 3, that is these 2 shaded portions, from each one of them take out 4 1 by 15. That is from this 1 by 3 and from this 1 by 3 each take out 4 such 1 by 15. So if I take out this one from this one, this one from this one, this one from this one, and this one from this one. So from first 1 by 3 we take out 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15. Okay. Now from another shaded portion, that is this shaded portion, you have to again take out 4. Why? Because we have 2 by 3, right? So from 1 by 3 take out 4 1 by 15. From another 1 by 3 take out 4 1 by 15. So let's take out this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we'll have 4 1 by 15 from here and plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 15. It means that initially we had 2 equal parts from this fraction 2 by 3, and from each part you have to take 4 1 by 15. Therefore total how many parts you'll have to take out? You'll have to take out 4 such parts. If you solve this one, this will be how many 1 by 15 we have? We have 8 1 by 15, and this will be 8 by 15. So this one will be 8 by 15. It means what? It means that 4 by 5 times 2 by 3 is equal to 4 times 2 times divided by 5 times 3. What does it mean? It means that if you look from this one, from this one, from this one, and from this one. In each of these cases, you have to multiply numerators together and the denominators together. Multiplication of numerator divided by multiplication of denominator. Multiplication of numerator divided by multiplication of denominators. Multiplication of numerator divided by multiplication of denominators. Multiplication of numerators divided by multiplication of denominators. Okay, it means that whenever you are multiplying two fractions, okay, you have to simply first multiply the numerators together, right, and then you have to multiply the denominators together. Or let me write it properly. It should be product of numerators divided by product of denominators, right? This will be the normal formula. Now, what we have done till now, in each of the examples that we discussed here, this one and this one, this one and this one, in each of these examples we have actually multiplied two proper fractions. 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. 1 by 3 multiplied by 1 by 2 is two proper fractions. 1 by 2 multiplied by 2 by 3 is also a multiplication of two proper fractions, and this is also a multiplication of two proper fractions. I'm just leaving it for you, okay, because what statement I'm going to write now is actually whenever you multiply two proper fractions, okay, till now whatever we have seen till now, in every case, whenever you multiply two proper fractions, the final outcome, whatever the final answer will be, that will be less than both the proper fractions. Whatever answer you will get, or the fraction you will get, its value will be less than both the proper fractions. Or just let me simply show you here. If I take this one, let's take this one, to C. Okay, if we multiply here, we had 4 by 5 and we had 2 by 3. The answer you are getting is 8 by 15, right? Now how will you compare these three fractions? It's very simple. Find out the equivalent fractions of these two, okay, which should be equal to this one, because we can compare fractions only when they are like fractions. So in order to make these two fractions like fractions as this one, we have to convert them into their equivalent fractions. And how we do this? This is denominator is 15, By what number we should multiply? By what number we should multiply this 4 by 5 such that its denominator becomes 15? You will say that, hey, multiply it by 3, therefore you will get denominator as 15. So this is 15, this is also 15. Now since we have multiplied the denominator by 3, we will also multiply the numerator by 3. Okay, so this will be 12 by 15. Same thing here. By what number we should multiply 3 that we get the denominator as 15? So by 5, if you multiply the denominator by 5, you'll get the denominator as 50. Okay, and since you have multiplied the denominator by 5, you'll also multiply the numerator by 5, only then you'll get the equivalent fractions. So 2 times 5 is 10. So it means that now we have 12 by 15 and we have 10 by 15. This was the final outcome of this multiplication. Now if you compare these three, you can see that this is smaller than this one, that is 12 by 15, that is 12 by 15, and this is also smaller than 10 by 15. 12 by 15 was what actually? It was the equivalent fraction of 4 by 5. What was 10 by 15? 10 by 15 was actually the equivalent fraction of 2 by 3. It means that 8 by 15 is less than 4 by 5, and 8 by 15 is also less than 2 by 3. It means that whenever you multiply two proper fractions, the final outcome, the fraction that you will get, will always be less than both the initial fractions. Similarly, product of an improper fraction and a proper fraction. Let's take one improper fraction as let's say 3 by 2 times, this is improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator, and take one proper fraction, let us take 2 by 3. So 3 by 2 is an improper fraction, 2 by 3 is a proper fraction. Same, if you multiply the numerators together, 3 times 2 divided by 2 times 3, this will be 6 by 6, right? 6 by 6. It means what? It's actually 1 if you simplify it. Now this 6 by 6, if you compare this improper fraction, this is 3 by 2, this is 6 by 6, right? Now what number should we multiply the 2 with so that we get the denominator as we are comparing this improper fraction with the final outcome. So if we multiply this 2 with 3 and therefore the numerator also by 3, you'll get 9 by 6. Now we can compare these two because now these two fractions are like fractions, right? Because the denominators are now same. So 9 by 6 and 6 by 6 means what? 9 by 6 is greater than 6 by 6. Now compare 2 by 3 and 6 by 6. So in order to compare these two fractions should be like fractions, and in order to make this fraction, these two fractions like fractions, you'll have to convert this one into an equivalent fraction in a way that its denominator is actually what? 6. So by what number we should multiply this 3 with? We should multiply this 3 with 2. You'll get the denominator as 6. And since you have multiplied denominator by 2, you'll also multiply numerator by 2. So this is 4 by 6. It means what? If you compare 4 by 6 and 6 by 6, then you can see that in this case, the 6 by 6 is actually greater than this 6 by 6 is greater than 4 by 6. 6 by 6 is greater than 4 by 6, right? It means what? 6 by 6 is greater than 2 by 3. So in this case, 2 by 3 was proper fraction, And this 9 by 6 meant what? This equivalent fraction of 3 by 2. That is, your product in case of multiplication of an improper fraction with a proper fraction, the final fraction that you will get will be less than the improper fraction. The product, the outcome of these two fractions, multiplication of these two fractions will be such that that will be smaller, less than the improper fraction, but will be greater than the proper fraction, as you can see here. 6 by 6 is greater than 2 by 3. That is a proper fraction. That was a proper fraction. And 6 by 6 was less than 9 by 6. That means is less than 3 by 2. That is an improper fraction, or improper fraction. It means that when you multiply an improper fraction and a proper fraction, the product of these two fractions, the outcome of the multiplication of these two fractions will be like smaller than improper fraction, but greater than this proper fraction. Product of two improper fractions. Let's take 5 by 2, one improper fraction multiplied by 7 by 3. This is one improper fraction and this one is also improper fraction. So this will be 5 times 7 and 2 times 3. This will be 35 divided by 6. Okay. Now, I'm just telling you and leaving you how to do that for as a homework. Whenever you multiply two improper fractions, then the final outcome, whatever answer you will get, whatever fraction you will get after multiplication, that will be greater than from both the two improper fractions. That is, this 35 by 6 will be greater than this one and this one also. So if we multiply two improper fractions, the fraction that we will get will be greater than the two improper fractions that have been multiplied together. And how you will prove that? You just follow the same steps that we have done earlier. That is, convert these two into equivalent fractions such that they are like fractions to this one, and then simply compare.